Alright, so if this doesn't work, I gotta see how it looks. But if this doesn't work, then I think that's the sweetest spot I'm going to find. I could tweak it with a number in between. I might do that, but otherwise, it's actually smooth enough that if I set things up right before the games like officially start, my streams for these will be beautiful. So I haven't been over here, so we're going to go over there. Over this is smooth, my turning smooth. This is feeling smooth. How's flying? Flying smooth. Let's go back over here. Okay, just a little grab, a bit. How's it? Okay, that's good. Let's go over here where I've never been. I haven't been over here yet. Like, I've been here, I know this place, but I haven't been. It's going well. I'm actually really happy about this. Okay! Well, let me get down here. And I guess I'll start this with a proper introduction. I'm going to turn off the sound because it's working for me now, and I'll just monitor it, make sure it's, fine. Yeah, so, welcome to my first official stream that I'm running off of my computer. I hope everybody's doing well, whoever watches this. Sorry, my throat is so dry and it feels so torn because of everything that happened last night. Oh, we're getting a little resistance here. What's going on? What happened? Oh, so just a little server delay. Everything's still running fine. Okay. Alright, that's fine. So, you've been seeing me trying to figure this out, or you haven't, and we have two buildings here, so I'm gonna kind of give you an understanding of what's happening here, and this is why I'm trying to set up actual, I'm trying to get a smooth stream, because we did it was originally for fun, but they wanted me and a few of my friends to stream it because we thought it would be a really cool concept to send out, show people, and show us having fun. And that's what I've been wanting to do for the longest time, is play with all of my friends, but I couldn't because I couldn't get a smooth stream on my computer. But now I am. I'm actually getting the smoothest I've ever done. So, for starters, you'll notice here. Let me fly up to show you this. You'll notice, first off, I found this beautiful seed. We're on top of a massive mountain right now that has this gorgeous little valley in the middle. None of this was built. None of the mountain was actually built. We found this naturally like this. So I found that amazing. What we did is we built a black border around the edge. We built blue boundaries, red boundaries, and a green boundary. And I'll explain what all those different boundaries are here in a second. But what we did was a capture the flag. And this was a session 0. We were refining the rules. We were okay, this is what we think we want for rules. We played it, and then after we were none of that worked. We need to refine a lot of things, so we need to sit down and talk about that. But I'll show you what we did do. So we have 4 zones actually. So we have the red team's zone, we have the blue team's zone, we have the prison zone, and we have the victory zone. So what each zone is blue team had their zone, red team obviously had their zone. The victory zone is where you're supposed to put the flag after you capture it and run it, because we thought, well, if you run it back to the base, that could be subjective. What about a zone where everybody can see you running? It's equidistant away from both bases, so it's 100% fair. So we did that. Another thing is we had a prison, and the prison is where you went if you died. So everybody's world spawn was set here, but we also had beds. So let me get over here, I'll show you, quick fly. So the prison here, if your team died, you'd spawn in your prison side, either the blue team or the red team. Both sectioned off with very basic redstone of how to get in or out. I'm just going to grab this and break the door actually. So, Blue team would be in here, you'd be set to the bed, and if you died, you'd spawn here. You know, you had some music to listen to if you wanted. I put a few stuff that I had. I actually had the flag, which was a dragon head, for both of the teams. There were a few things of how you can get out of prison. A team member could simply come here, beat this parkour, and it's a very simple, easy parkour, and let everyone out. Everybody would be allowed out. Or, if nobody was able to come, one person could beat this rather simple, but it turned out in the stressful moment of the actual event, it became much harder because you're scrambling to try to get out. Parkour. And if you got out at the very top of this, which it slowly progressed to being difficult, but the type of parkour became easier, you would be able to free yourself from jumping down here, and what you would do is you would just let yourself bounce once, you know, and then twice. You'd land over here, and then you can free all your people and go. And if you were dumb enough to not do that, there's a kill button because you were stupid. But that's just what we did. We had that to get us out. Me and a friend. So before all this started, we built the boundaries. We built the zones, like the green zone, the red zone, and the blue zone. None of the bases existed yet. It was just a mountain. And then we built the prison. Me and two friends actually worked very hard on building this prison before we started day one of the actual game. This was the first day we got everybody on, and we went over to the victory zone, and we randomly put in 5 blue team papers and 5 red team papers, so that way it would dispense randomly, and you would go over, click the button, and whatever team you were put on is what you were put on. Well, blue team did have a slight disadvantage of having me and literally 4 other of like our best Minecraft players all put on the same team, but they had red team had the absolute one of my my opinions is they had one of the absolute best Minecrafters, but they also had like a majority of players that were on Xbox, and they also had a player on Switch. We had a player on Switch, but it wasn't nearly as bad. So it wasn't 100% fair, but they also had someone who really put a base together that was difficult for a while. But as towards the end of the game and after I realized that we blue team, I was on the blue team. If you can't notice by my beautiful skin that I deserve to be on blue team. Kind of made ours even more unfair than theirs. So I'm going to show you the 2 bases, which was overall, I'm not going to lie, my base. We did win in the idea of most aesthetically pleasing, but theirs worked as best of actually like the concept of capture the flag, because they did capture the flag where we did escape room, and that wasn't fair. I even agree. So I'm going to start with my base because I know it the best, and I'm going to explain it better, and then I'm going to explain theirs. Theirs goes from build height to build bottom, which is actually their base is really simple. It may look huge here, but trust me, a lot of it is actually really open. It's really beautiful and it's awesome. So our base consists of, first off, this glorious wall that I took forever to build, with some towers and this gorgeous entry that I did take a while to build. I found it on Pinterest, and I did a lot of that with my builds. I took pieces from Pinterest and other things and built my own kind of block palette and style to it, which I thought was really nice. If you guys want to copy these, you know, you can always pause the video, take a look at it. Here's like some close-ups so that way you can get a better idea of what I did, you know. And I did even make it accessible that you can go through these. It was a lot of fun, honestly. I took a lot of time to build these. So we did this, and then there's this glorious staircase up, and the idea was they were supposed to come up and go straight up here to the first room, which is the throne room. The throne room, designed by me, was completely hidden, and I'll show you how so. So let me hide this. Oh, hold on. So that way you guys get an idea of what it looked like. You guys know that's there now, but that doesn't matter. I'm just gonna throw that up there. Okay. So the throne room was nice. You know, it was supposed to confuse them and make them think, oh, okay, there's a button here. There's wait, what's this? I don't know. Anyway, there was like there were some not so truthful things, you know, but they could go around pushing these buttons. It's like there has to be somewhere we can go. So they would push this button, and it would take them over to the second room. Now, once in the second room, you would be able to see that there was a nice grand hallway, also built by me. You know, there would be a lot of, you know, random junk and make it look like, you know, you're in a castle. That's what we wanted. You can go over to this room, and in this room there was our blue team storage room that they were not allowed in whatsoever. It was supposed to be a room that we had privately to ourselves with all of our gear, our best gears and stuff. And I'll show you my gear and their gear in a second. A place where you can armor up with leather armor, because there was a rule at first that if you went to the other team's side, you had to wear leather armor. But the thing was, we proved that that was really stupid. You would die super fast. My bow and sword were killing people instantly, and it was just becoming a headache. So we switched it that you can wear your best gear at all times, because there was just no point. But we'll come back to this room in a second here. We had just designed rooms that we all built because we thought we wanted to try to confuse them as best as possible. We created this room where you'd have to do some simple head parkour over here to push a button, and the button's like down in this pipe, and it would open up this door. And what this would do is you would read the most horrendous dad jokes by ours truly, Zeffy, who, my goodness, the headache that it is to get through this room. And then your goal was to get over here, and after you got through here, you'd come up to my room. And why? Because it's just another beautiful, like, they actually got the idea of the pressure of all that really well quickly. But like, you would come up here and you'd go through the maze, or you'd go through the maze this way. This actually confuses me now that I think about it, because they should not have been able to come out this way. Because this maze is actually designed for you to go in this way. So, like, they can't get up in the honey room. So that was a mistake. And then let's get back down here quickly. You're seeing how ours is starting to become unfair, because we designed it for them to go out this way, but that exit is also meant to come in this way. So it doesn't make sense at all. And then we created, this is probably the most unfair thing we created, was the vault. This was closed off here. Let me show you how it was closed off. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Give me the crying obsidian. The crying obsidian. It was like this. Actually, there was amethyst there because we didn't think crying obsidian was a movable block. But that was like that, and there were 3 blocks here with a note saying, like, hey, this. It said this: hello, you have found our vault. The head must be in here, kind of thing. There are 3 keys. You have to drop them in this chest here to get in. But there's nothing in the vault. It was a lie. I did like fake Herobrine shrines just to be funny, and like the dragon egg. It was a lie the whole time. The 3rd key never existed, and they went through a horrendous maze that pops them out over here that is filled with traps. Like, you go through all of this, like this maze here. I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see it, with fake pressure plates, doors that you can see, doors that you can get to, like you can get to that one over here that had traps, and 2 of the actual keys that existed. You could go all the way up, or you could go all the way down. That would just drop kill you horrendously, and that's the start of that trap. Where's the exit? Guys, I know my own this. There it is. And then a prison here that this was our prison, and it would lock you out. You would go straight back. You can actually kind of see it from here. Actually, I don't think you can see it on the stream at all because of how dark it is. But if you go back all the way here, I can see it well because my gamma's up. You push a button, and it would push a button and let you out. The only way to get out was to see this secret room here with tripwire that didn't matter. You'd push this button and it would release you back here. That's where we honestly should have, like, over here had a book that said, ha ha ha, the 3rd key doesn't exist, you dummy. And they'd continue going throughout the cave, or this. There's also this stupid spider trap maze, and my poor friend Deus got stuck in it for literally an entire hour. He could not find his way out because of how dark it was for him. For me, I know it really well and I can see, so I felt bad when I heard about that. It's like, oh dude, that's not fun. This is just an ice room. I don't know what the point of this room is. This was made also by Zeffy. And then we have my library that I made, and it literally just contains books to waste their time to read while we had more time to do what we wanted. It has a beautiful spiral staircase, many books that I wrote, little traps, little like things that were like, just time wasters. They'd get around, they'd see, and it'd be like, oh, okay, there's no point. I also created like a little cupboard somewhere, but really I'm not going to show you that right now. There's no point. It's useless. No, my phone. Go back. There we go. Okay, so there was all of that. And then last but not least, you could get up to the Dragon Head if you did what these guys did, which was place a water bucket here, and they got up, and they would know that this was useless. Like there was nothing in here the entire time. However, if they found that out instantly, they just rolled right on up here, and the Dragon Head was here just for aesthetic overall. Like I didn't care, but there was other things we did. First off, they actually liked this. They thought this was funny and kind of amusing. We had turrets, and these turrets shot arrows. Well, this one's empty, but it shot arrows almost all the way out to where my crosshair is pointing right now. Like it was straight out past our wall. It was really impressive. And this one shot them straight down here. However, we actually tested it several times, and we never got hit by arrows. And then we had this turret system here that did the exact same thing. And they actually thought that was pretty cool. It's like, oh, they've got some really interesting defenses. That's impressive, But once they got inside the base, they really were ticked off, and I don't blame them at all. I'm actually going to just break this again because this whole base is just falling apart. I actually do have a copy of it just to remember for old time's sake. I loved it. But we're going to come back over here quickly because this room is important. So this is where we had all of our special gear. And obviously all of our gear isn't here anymore. We have it on most of our players. But like, I want to show you some of my stuff. And I'm trying to hide most of the names because I'm trying to be honest about who's who. Noah, he's a friend of mine. I might have mentioned him a few in other streams. Liv and Z, but I'm not going to really tell you about these people. You see their names, but I'm not going to tell you too much about them until I know their opinion about how they want to be done in my streams. But like, I had 2.5 stacks of pearls. One of the halves I split between others. I had a fully enchanted trident, fully enchanted gear with a Proj Prot, which I'm currently wearing, my fully enchanted helmet. This was Jetty's shulker box, which I'll show you. This was mine, which is just filled with totems of undying. I had a maxed out crossbow, bow, sword. I actually had 20 gold apples, and I did not use them all. We had so many arrows. We had so much stuff. Like, this was my other shulker. I wasn't allowed to carry 2 shulkers on me. I was only allowed 1 at a time, but, like, we had more. There was actually a key to let us in this room as well that would open up right here, and only the blue team had it. But, like, we had so much stuff. We had so much food, shields, health potions that we got from raids. We had, like, let me, is this, yeah, I'm in creative, so it's, like, multiplying my stuff here. This is, like, other stuff I had, It was really crazy. Here, let me just get rid of some of this. Actually, let me hold on to that so that way I can show you later. We had that entire chest was filled with arrows. We had crossbows. We had arrows for days. We had totems. All these were filled, but that we didn't even touch the rest of them. Like, they were maxed. We really did not have much to worry about. And the other thing is, like, we had this down here, and I'm about to show you. Oh, and we had this room over here filled with stuff, like my stuff, Noah's stuff, Z's stuff, all of our stuff, and an entire smelting room and everything. We actually didn't make any potions by that, by the way. There were a few rules. We were not allowed to go to the Nether this round, and we were not allowed to go to the end and trade with villagers because this, like I said, this is session 0. We wanted to test things out. But then, if you come down here, and we built all of this in survival. Well, not all of it. We did actually, we were allowed to do all of our building in creative, but we got all the resources in survival. The Blackstone, obviously, something we couldn't get. We allowed ourselves to have special things. This was the Hound Room. I had this entire side up to like here, this line right here, filled with dogs, and so did Noah on this side. And this entire room was filled with our last friends' stuff, and we ran them up this staircase. Most of them died due to entity cramming. And we attacked with like literally 150 dogs, and we lost a good handful of them. But like that is our entire base. We had all of that. Other things we had, they really liked the sword. The sword was really cool. And there was this room down here, which I'm going to give an honorable mention because it was worked on pretty hard. It was worked on rather well. Also, warning on that. Holy shit. It's the llama room. They wanted to make a llama room with different names of people. There's Bob, there's Jeff that was better, there's Larry, there's Olivia and Noah, they're special. There's Paul and Carl. Our friend is special. There's me, there's Jetty, and there's like all these other people. And then if they wanted, and we did this, you could just end yourself, because why the heck not? Because what are you gonna do? You know, you're all the way down here, and there's no way up, so you just had to kill yourself. Again, our base was not very fair, and I started feeling really bad towards the end of it, because it was like, this is not fair. At the same time, I was like absolutely livid, because, and I'll show you why, and I'll explain, because I was the only one who actually ever got the enemy's flag and almost got out, but I kept having to fight Jetty, who is the leader of the red team base, and he was really good. He was a good sport about everything, more than I actually anticipated. But overall, like I got so frustrated about a couple things. So I'll show you their base now, because that was basically it. However, you'll notice our flag was never actually in our base, and that was what we wanted the entire time. But I realized that was wrong. We had a button here, a stone button on stone, that would let you down here, and that's where our flag was. And it honestly is feeling like it was 100% not fair anymore. Like it really did not do us any justice. We ended up becoming more of the jerks than we thought their team was going to be, and let me show you why. You saw our base. It was extremely elaborate, and now I bet you're understanding like now when I say it was an escape room, because when you get to Jetty's room, this is how his base was set up. This is what he called the murder basement. Let me tell you, when running through here, I was absolutely terrified. It felt like I was in the back rooms. I felt like I was being hunted anytime. And there are tunnels throughout the entire base that regularly, like just these holes here you see, that just drop you down through powdered snow that don't kill you, you know, like they just drop you down quietly, and you come down here, and Jetty would just be sitting down here waiting to kill you. It was terrifying, let me tell you that. And then you would, like, as you see on my screen, this is what he intended it probably to look, just dark, but for me, I could see perfectly fine the entire time. Then you would go up here, and the idea was, oh wait, am I going up the right way? There was 2 ways to go up, and this is not the original way I went. I think I went this way. No. Wait, that's covered. I'm confused. I'm so confused. Anyway, we got in, and we start going up. You know, you go up like this. Oh yes, this is the right way. And you're brought here. If you go in here, what I did was I went up over here. I checked the base. This is like one big labyrinth. What you're supposed to do is you go over here, and I found this first. And if I had just listened to my gut in the first place, I would have been correct. You pull this lever like this. There is water that comes out there. That's a red herring, but this block here pops out, and you swim through. This was a 1x1 hole. You swim through, and you bring yourself in here. And I got here, and I'm like, oh, this has got to be the wrong way. I was completely right. It was the right way, but I didn't believe myself. and it brings you over here. So, this is room 2. I'll explain that in a second. How we actually got in this room the first time is one of the other players found the back rooms here. This is not this. Nobody's supposed to be back here. This is just detailing. This is just like extra space that was unnecessary. And an Enderman had actually stolen blocks, and that's how we found our way back there. So the actual way was that way. And what you had to do, that's this down here means nothing. You go through this while Jetty is up top sniping you. Now let me tell you something. I haven't played on PC in a long time. I've always claimed that I'm a good PC Minecrafter. I usually do a really good job, right? I'm usually pretty strong, you know. A really good PvPer. I haven't been doing good for a long time. So I got, where was it? It was around, like, it was around here. I was just sitting here, and Jetty, you can see right where my crosshair is, kind of like, oh, hold on, was it there? Yeah, it was somewhere around there. No, I was like right around, yeah, I was right around here. Jetty was stuck, and I was just sniping him over and over. Anytime I pulled out my bow against him, I was dominating, actually. But overall, you worked your way. I knocked him down many times. You worked your way up here, across this, and he built all this. This was actually really clever. You flipped this lever, and what you did is you were able to come over here and get to level 3, and you do have some signs here that told you if you missed it. Then you came to this. Honestly, at this point, you just tell it's a straight shot. You come in here. This is somebody's chest. This was Jetty's chest, which impressive. And then this was their zone. We were not allowed to go in here, like red team, storage room. You know, we can't touch any of this. But they built this elaborate, like, just little parkour thing that you'd climb up here. You just go around, and it brings you over to this tree, which you drop down. Now, this is where I started getting frustrated, because from the start, I knew Jetty had a secret weapon that we did not, and that was a warden. So this is just a playthrough of what happened. So I was sitting here, I'm talking to my teammates, I can't hear Jetty, but I knew Jetty was on his way. I see his name pop up, and he comes over, and he's gonna start coming over to get me, you know, which is fair. That's relatively fair. So I'm sitting over here, and I'm like, trust fall, return room, and I didn't realize this was an upward Vader. I thought it was supposed to go down and like screw me over, and I'm like, trust fall, I don't trust it. Where does that go? So I'm sitting here crouched. I don't want him to see my name, but he had already seen me. He knows I'm here. He thought I was still in the tree room. So this is what happens. He's running around up here. He's like, he's got to be in here, and then he noticed he's in this room. So he goes up that ladder, and I'm like, screw it. Nope, I can't do this. So I drop, and I'm just like scared out of my mind right now. Like, my heart's racing. I know something's going to happen. I come over here, and I get up to here. And at this point, I hear the warden. I hear him, and I'm like, oh no, this is not good. I'm not ready to fight the warden. I can't do this. And then all of a sudden, Jetty's name drops, and he sees me, because from down there, you can see my boots. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, no, no. And he comes, he kills me, okay? Okay. I get back here. I finally decide, you know, screw it. We're going, you know. I don't have time to wait. So what happens is I run. I run like hell. I can't see at all. Like, it's all lit up now. We have lights, but I can't see at all. The warden is sitting right there, and I see it. Also, I crouched. Actually, my very first time, and then I saw him, and I'm like, oh no. So I ran back around, and I got over here, and let's see here, where is it? So you get over here. The warden is right behind me, and he's already like shrieking, shot me like a few times. I run down here. He's killing me, you know, he's still shooting at me. I get over here, and I get up to this block, and it was pitch black for me. I couldn't see. I thought I hit a dead end. I'm like, no, and I turn around, and he's right there. He kills me. All right. So, second time, I make it here. And I get in this room over here. And I'm like, yes, it's mine. It's mine. There's actually a really elaborate design here. We accidentally broke it. But I get the head. And I'm like, I got it. I got it. And now I just got to get it back to the pedestal. Where's my way out? Because we built an exit button. They push it, and it just, like, TPs you up a second, and you can run free, you know? Because we thought that was fair. Wrong with them. So I realized I had to go, but the thing was still shooting me. It's like, it's got to leave me alone. I could heal up, and then I can run back out and, like, establish something. But no, he was still shooting me. I had my inventory full of totems, so what I do is I had one in one hand and one in my offhand, and I just kept running, and then I would, like, switch more, and then I would just keep running and switch more. And I did this until I got all the way here. I'm just going to screw this. I did it until I got all the way back to here. Now, Jetty was hidden over here the entire time, and I ran into him, but I didn't see him until he knocked me over here. The warden was behind us. He didn't want to die or fight the warden, so his thinking was, I'm just going to go back in. I saw this. I tried to make it in. I jumped here. The warden knocked me back over to here. I tried to hit the button. It opened. It did not work. I died to the warden. At that point, we decided, we had been playing for like 5 hours. We were like, this is just not ideal. So we're just going to call it a draw. So we actually ended session 0 in a draw. Nobody won. I was the only one who got it that far, but I want to give all credit to my friend who did find it. I'm not going to say his name just yet because, again, I don't know how he's going to want to deal with the streaming names. I don't remember his. I think it was Sergeant. His name was Sergeant on his gamer tag. He's a relatively newer player with me, so I just wanna respect his his privacy in like how he wants to deal with the streams. I don't know if he wants me to say his name, but he's the reason we even got that far back, and I want to give him all credit and thanks, because without him being the one to find it, I would not have been able to get that honor of going that far and actually almost winning. However, we called it a draw and we showed each other where things were. After we had done that, I realized how unfair our base was. But, you know, it was a session 0. We were learning how things worked. And honestly, I feel like we learned a lot. So when we do season 1 of this, which I really want to stream because I got this set up, we can actually like set up better bases with a better understanding. We're going to talk everything out. And we're gonna do so much better. I can't wait for you guys to actually see this capture the flag that we're doing on a full scale. I think it's going to be an absolute blast because we worked really hard on this, and they wanted to stream it so much. And the reason I'm doing this is so that way you can see the pre-log to what we were doing. So it was an absolute honor. Like I was really happy and excited about how this turned out. It was an absolute blast. There's actually other traps that never got seen. Like there's this trap over here that never got seen. There's my trap over here, which is extremely basic. You run out of the jail, and it's made that they're not paying attention, and they fall through this powdered snow here, and it's just like, haha, JK me, and you leave. Like that's it. There's other build things like this. The towers were stuff. And honestly, like there's a whole underground maze under this staircase that I'm not going to show, but like there was a lot to it. I think Red Team definitely got the W though. They made a way better base. They didn't be jerks and like create something that was impossible to get through like our base. So I give props to them. It was an absolute blast. It was a lot of fun. We all did enjoy it in the end. We're like, yeah, we had fun. It's just let's not do that again. Like that's not fair, you know. So other than that's essentially all it was. Also, if you're wondering why this little motherfucker is here, it's because there used to be a raid tower here. This is cool. I just got bad omens. So like this is the last remaining original piece of the raid tower, and it just says rip raid tower. Actually, would have been funny if we were over here trying to get the flag up here and person killed us. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean,
it's what it is. And honestly, I had an absolute blast doing this, and I can't wait to do another one. So, I will see you guys later. I'm going to post this as a video for you guys to watch. It's a very short stream. Like, it's not really anything super special. But it honestly, it was what I wanted to really show you guys. I couldn't show you on my Xbox. I couldn't play it on my Xbox because I would have been so hindered by how I play. I got so good at like reusing like a control sprint. I got really good at like moving my stuff around with my keyboard and everything. Xbox, I just would have been way too slow. I would have loved to have streamed it for you guys on there, but I feel like you would not have caught how intense it was for me in those moments. So that was the like what's it called? The like Rick and Morty pilot episode. This was the pilot for our capture the flag idea. We're gonna find like a new seed, a whole new world, because this world we used it. We went far. We destroyed a lot, and I'm not gonna vamp the seed for us to use it again because we know all of its secrets. We know where a lot of things are. We're not gonna be able to find all the diamonds or like the mining again. That'll probably be different, but like we know what we want to do for the actual season 1 is we're gonna allow ourselves to go to the Nether, and we're gonna go to trading. I think with the villagers, maybe. But we're going to add like a couple things to try for Season 1. We're going to definitely push for a more intense battle. And we're even talking about not even just doing 2 teams, but like individual teams or like multiple different ideas. So, guys, if you like stuff like Dreams Manhunt or hardcore entertainment, stuff like that, I'm streaming these live. If you guys want to watch more stuff like this, please follow. 1, it supports me. It shows that you enjoy my content. I really appreciate it. And you'll also get to see some really cool, like, unique ideas. Now, Capture the Flag, I will not lie, is nowhere unique. But when we're building bases like these with teams, like, you're going to see streams of not only the final day, but you're going to see streams of me working to get stuff in between. I'm going to show you the progression. I'm not going to show you just the final, like, the beginning and the final product. No, you're going to get to see us building this all. You're going to get to see us working through the hassle of, well, we don't know what they've got. We know they got a warden, so what should we do to combat that? You know, we're working together, but most of all, it's a bunch of like it's 10 friends that all know each other very well, having fun together, and it's 5v5 or 4v4, something v something. We actually had a few people having to drop out middle of the game because they had to leave, but like they're long, fun streams. I hope that you guys can find some appreciation in them, and if you really want to see Season 1 of it, where I will be streaming all of it. I will stream all the progression. You can watch it all here. Just follow me. Other people you should check out on streams is TJ Bulldog, though. That is my brother. He also does streams for games, and check that out. But if you guys want to see how all this led up and how all of this kind of stuff goes, Season 1 will be its all new brand thing, and I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna do it. So be there, follow, and you know, I'm pushing to at least have 100 followers. That's my first goal. It would be so cool. I'm at 24. 25. Get me to 25, and let's get 75 more. It's not that hard. Follow me. I hope to see you guys later. I will see you guys. Bye bye.